Hi, and welcome to Origin of Concepts. Today, I'll explore the origin of the bell and how bells got into symbolism. So, let's start. Bell symbolism is rich and varied around the world cultures. Original representing the beginning and endings. So, to speak a understandable language, it means the spirit manifestation into the mortal world and the mortal returning to the spirit. Ding dong. Okay, and the greatest bell of them all, which gave the inspiration to create all other bells, origins in the Milky Way center. So let's take a look at the Milky Way. Maybe you already found it, but I'll draw it anyway. Just give me a second here to get the pen. Of course, the bell, is the Milky Way center. The dark shadows outlining the Milky Way center also forms the bell. And we could do like this. So here you got the shape of the bell. And the golden colors, because most bells is golden. And the golden color is, of course, the red light or the spirit light emerging from the disk in the Milky Way center. So that's the golden color. And then inside the bell, you got the clapper or the tongue, as it is called, which is the striped shadow here. Or let me draw it as it is. It's the striped shadow here. And we connect them like this. So this is the tongue, the pendle. And at the end of the pendulum or the tongue, you got the ball, which makes the ringing sound when it hits the edges. Ding dong. And it's, of course, the disk in the Milky Way center. And let me explain why this pendulum is called the tongue. Because the Milky Way center is the big mouth. And this mouth got a very famous shadow, which is the tongue. So here you got the reason why it's called the tongue. And this is not the only myth or symbol using this, but I'll explain that in another video. So now you know the tongue of the bell. Okay. In Hinduism and Buddhism, there's a tradition to hang bells, not balls, hang bells on a line. And this is, of course, also visualized by the striped shadow. Here you got the line, and here you got all the bells hanging. And you also see this in other cultures. It could be oil lamps or everything hanging on their line. But in this case, it is bells. And for Christmas, we are using jingle bells. And, you know, when the jingle bells is, put together on a rattle, or maybe on the rear's straps, you know, it's visualized by this striped shadow here too. And then let me draw the single jingle bells, because it's a single bell is of course the Milky Way center, or the surrounding area around the disk. And if you talk about more than one or several bells, it's always the striped shadow here. And this is a good thing to have in mind, because in many other myths, when you talk about one, it's something about the Milky Way center, and if it's more or a group or a crowd of something, it's always the stripes and the striped shadow. But let me draw the jingle bell, because it's here. You know, the round little feller with such a... And then the ball inside is of course the disc, making the magic light, sound, sorry. The sound wave here, the black striped shadow. And this is of course a symbol of the spirit emerging from the disk in the center of the Milky Way. Okay, and let me see. I think that was all. No, because when we use Christmas bells, we often decorate bells with a red band or green leaves or red berries and stuff like that. And let me show you that. Because the red band is, of course, always the band of the Milky Way, or the striped shadow, because this is the banner, and this is the red bands, small bands we use. And the striped shadow is also the green leaves, because this is what we call the olive green or green area of the Milky Way center. It's used to everything about fields and plants and stuff like that. So here we got a lot of green leaves. And then we also know all the red berries. And if you see in this specific part of the Milky Way, we got a lot of red stars here. And these red stars is the red berries between the leaves. So now you know where this concept origin, in the Milky Way, of course. So I think that should be all you need to know about the origin of the bells. And of course, if you got further or deeper questions to the bells, feel free to leave a comment and I'll give my best answer to your question. So, jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle all the way. We all know that, right? Okay, that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and until next video, take care. Bye.